Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Carte. Alright, so we're going to create some flowers to go in our sconces that we have painted and hung on the walls. These are the ones we got from the Floral store, which is where some of these flowers come. Some are on hand, some came from my daughter's wedding back in the day, right? Saved them just because they were pretty and I knew I could use them at some point. But what I need to do is figure out how to put a stem on there so that I can create a display. As always, I went ahead and cut everything off of the main main holder thing, and basically just took some wire cutters and cut way back at the very back because I think I'm going to need those wires. So that's the only waste. How about that? Love it when that happens. So now what I want to do is I'm going to literally go through and try to create stems for these that got cut off for other reasons. This came out of that giant infinity love sign from back in the day, right? So I saved those flowers. They're going to come in perfectly handy right now. My husband loves orchids, so we did go ahead and get a couple stems, but now we're doing 4. So I've got these, right? And they are in a different city, so I'm not going back to get 2 more. But they're in 2 different areas, so I'm going to do 2 in this salmon color, right? I don't know, sunset color, whatever that color is. And then whenever I'm at a garage sale, estate sale, if they have flowers, I always buy them, right? If they're reasonably priced. So I'm going to have this one, which means I only need to find 1 more white orchid for my 4th sconce. We're going to go with sconce. If it's a different name, just let me know. And this came from that same garage sale, right? I love these because I can see, because they're wire, I could bend them over the edge. So may use these, may not, but I like the looks of them. All right. I'm going to begin here. These came from that same store, so they're new, but most of everything else is from my stash. So I'm just going to push everything up and then see what I need. And no judge, but we're going to actually use cottage cheese containers to build the display in, and then put styrofoam between the container and the walls of the urn just to help hold it up into place. That way I can pull it out with a hurricane or whatever we might have come through. They're under a good amount of cover, all but one that could get rain readily, but there's holes in the bottom, so it should not be a bad idea, it won't be a bad idea. And then I will also cut holes in the bottom of these so they don't hold water also. A lot of prep. I spent a lot of time organizing what colors I had of what, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push all my stems up. That way I know, do I need that full stem for this particular flower, or can I use some of this wire on one of the ones that don't have? And then I would just basically Gorilla hot glue it here and then put some wire around it, or even a wire tie might even be good. So I'll go from the focal, which will be these, these orchids, right? And they'll be the tallest piece in the back, and then I'll work large to small just as a design feature. So a little bit more organization, but I kind of wanted to talk through how I design, just to give you ideas should you decide you want to do Like I paid $4.99 for this entire bush, and it has a lot of flowers on it. But there's two in this bundle I have over here. But I just wanted you to have an idea how I design. That way it might spur an idea in you when you're doing your next floral design. And yes, could I put live flowers out there? Yes. Will I eventually? Maybe. Today? No. We're going to do this today. Alright, see, that one didn't have the extra piece on it. It's okay. I like that little extra green in there, and it's a sturdy green. I think it'll hold up to being not so much direct weather, but a lot of humidity out there. That, and then we need our tall piece, and we want it to be a good height. Let me get a ruler out. I'm gonna go measure. I'll be right back. So for us in our setting, our tallest piece will be about 22 inches tall. That means not 22 inches will be showing. Just means from the bottom out the top. And it'll be something like that. And everything else will be built around that. All right, let's see if our glue has heated up. Get the first piece in here, and we probably will put more styrofoam in this. I've got lots of spare styrofoam over here. So just kind of gotta figure out the first one, and then figure out a design from there. So that gives us our little lift that we need. And then we will not put it in the center, but instead around the outside. And then just set it down in there, and we're going to hold it until we know it sets. And so we have a little air gap in there, so that works out well. And this one will go in the very back. I may take off some because I'm a little nervous. I've got a TV that's going to mount to that wall, so. But what height I make on this, I'll make all of them match. So I'm going to go ahead and take it down to 20. So that means I'm going to take 2 inches off of this. not a big deal. Right about there. So from here, I'm just going to figure out what I need to do to get the lift I need on those, because those are large and will go in the back. So I want it to stand in the very back. So I'm going to literally glue it here, here, and then on the bottom. So what I'm doing is I'm gluing it to the back of the container and to the piece of styrofoam inside. Again, this will sit down inside that sconce. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause again, and I'm going to go out there and make sure, get on a ladder and make sure everything is going to look just the way I think it's going to look. Alright, let me go do a test fit. Okay, we like the height, but I'm going to modify this stem slightly on my cutters. I'm going to cut these bottom two off because they do get lost in the ceramic sconce. So I'm going to see if I can't glue these higher up. It's Gorilla Hot Glue. It hasn't failed me yet. Hopefully this isn't when it does. So I'm going to literally just, and I really need to just hold it in place until it has a chance to catch. Part of the design process. Sometimes you have to modify to get it to do what you want it to do. Once it sets up, I can add more glue around it and then let it set up again. Oh, it has a nice base. I'll put the other one here. I think that'll be good. So let's hold this in place until it has a chance to dry, or at least set up a little bit. Okay. Really don't want it on my other flowers. I don't want to mess them up with hot glue. So then we'll put this one maybe like right in there. That kind of gives a little bit fuller. Alright, this is number 3. I'm not going to be able to finish it all the way because I don't have a total of 4 orchids. I do have a white one, but I've pulled it out of this number 3 because I'm going to actually go by the floral store and see if I can find matching orchids, because originally we planned to only do 2 of these and now we have 4, so I don't have enough of those focal centerpieces, but I can do all of it except for that. for this one and the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and get as far along that I can until I'm able to make it to that store and see if they have what we need. Again, I'm just creating a little drainage hole. Each one of those sconces has a drainage hole, and this will just help it to not collect water. And we may eventually put live plants in here, but this is where we're going to start for right now. Alright. Go ahead and get this one cut. We'll go ahead and get these pulled together, and then as soon as I can get to that store, I'll be able to finish these up. There's my holes, and I'm literally just using things that I have. So this is from that orchid that I have. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. This will not do anything for me. And I'm going to go ahead and glue my little ledge in there just like we did before. Okay. I'll just glue them on either side of our drainage hole, and then glue our styrofoam ball down. So you want to get it pretty close to that hole because I don't have the same flat surface as I did with the other. So let's just go ahead and then go ahead and add some glue here and some glue here, and then glue our ball down. Sure, we don't have any glue coming out, and we don't. And while that's setting up, I need to extend the lengths of
Well, I was able to find those orchids that I needed, and they fit just right, just perfect, right below that TV. And the elves have taken over that far one. That's the one I talked about. The only one that I think could possibly get some water in it. But again, we have all those drainage holes. So I think it'll be just fine. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting. Hope you enjoyed this one. This one was a fun one.